Hello and welcome to Stat 261, Introductory Statistics. You are either taking the fully online version of the class or you're taking a hybrid version of the class. My name is Barbara Caudill and I'm the course author for this class. You might be taking this class with me as your instructor, but it is a good chance that you're taking it with someone else as the instructor. There are several other people who teach the Stat 261 online and hybrid version. Let's take a look around our Canvas site to see how we're going to navigate this course this semester. You should plan on taking some notes during this navigation syllabus video of our course. There will be a quiz over this information in the first module, and also I will be giving you some code words during this video that will also be a part of the quiz. So you'll want to write those down along with notes as I suggested as you watch this video. But right now we're on our Canvas homepage. If you scroll down a little ways, you will see links to the Getting Started page. The Getting Started page is actually the same as the syllabus link over here on the left. You'll see a link to the Online Essentials, which has some helpful information for online learning, a link to Instructor Contact, where you can find your individual instructor's contact information, a link to some resources for the course, and then you'll also find links to the 13 modules in the class. So if we scroll back up here, you should start out by clicking on the syllabus link on the left or the Getting Started square in the middle there. You should thoroughly read through all of this. Here's a statement of how the grades are weighted in the class, a little bit about me, the course author. This will be filled in by whoever your course instructor is. About the class, there will be a link to a paper syllabus for the class that you should pull up and read, print out if you'd like, save it to your computer if you'd like. The grading scale, some student and instructor expectations, a little bit of information, additional information about the class and how to get started. And also you'll see a course summary of all of the assignments and their due date in the class. In order to complete assignments, there's a couple of things you can do. You can click directly on the link from the syllabus page at the bottom. That's probably not the link that is most often used to complete assignments. There'll also be, when you're on the home page, there will also be a list of things coming up, so you could click directly on those links to go to the assignments. But what I suggest you do is to click on the modules page. The modules page is a nice overview of everything in the class. This top module is called the My Stat Lab module. This is a module you will use every chapter that we cover in the book. It has links to your e-textbook, which is free to you. It was included in your course fee that you paid for the class. This is a link to all of your assignments that are in My Stat Lab. My Stat Lab is a Pearson product. We use the Pearson book along with the online component of that called My Stat Lab. So again, there's your e-textbook. There's a link to where you can access your My Stat Lab assignments. There's a link to StatCrunch, which is a very important software that we use in this class. There's a link to your My Stat Lab gradebook, not to be confused with your Canvas gradebook over here on the left. The My Stat Lab gradebook is only going to contain your grades for any homework, chapter homework, and chapter quizzes that are done in My Stat Lab. If you click on the link for grades over here on the left, that will contain all of your grades for everything in the course. It will have your My Stat Lab homework, your My Stat Lab quizzes. It will also have your lecture quizzes, your discussions, your exams. Everything will be in the Canvas gradebook. This My Stat Lab gradebook is just kind of useful to make sure that you have done your assignments in My Stat Lab. There's a study plan. This has some extra study problems if you would like to do those. This is not required. There's also some extra resources in the Tools for Success. Again, that's not required. These last two are not required. They're just extra materials if you're having trouble in the class. Down from there, you will see the Module 0, which is kind of just a getting started information specifically about the class. This is that course navigation quiz that I talked to you about, and we'll also have an introduction discussion. And then we start into the modules for the actual statistics learning that we'll do in the class. Before you start any homework assignment or anything for any chapter in the class, you should start out on the very first thing listed in the module. That's called the module page. It has all of your learning information on it. So before I click on this, I'm going to pause here and I'm going to give you your first code word. And your first code word is Miami. Miami is your first code word, M-I-A-M-I, Miami. Okay, so back to the video. Before you ever start doing anything, you should always click on, this is where your learning material is. The first thing underneath each module is the module page, then it's followed by assignments. So you always click on the module page. This is module 1. You will find learning videos under the presentations and demonstrations. I have made these. You can click on this and it will bring up a presentation. Also on that page, right under the presentations, is a notes outline. Each chapter has 1 or 2 or maybe 3 or 4 or 5 videos with it that you should watch, and also a notes outline page. As you go through the video, you'll see a lot of blanks in this notes outline that you will fill in from the video. It's very easy to fill them in from the video, and that is also what you will use to complete your homework. It's kind of one place to keep track of all of your notes for the chapter. Now, do not limit yourself by what is on this note page, especially when we get to the chapters where we use some form of technology, whether it be StatCrunch or something, some applets that we use on the internet. You will want to take extra notes outside of this page, or maybe on the back of this page if you print it out or something like that, about how to use StatCrunch and those applets. Write down specifically, step by step, what did I click on to find the standard deviation of this set of numbers? What specifically did I click on to run that significance test in Chapter 9? So you will want to specifically write down step by step on how to complete each procedure that we do, each calculation that we do using technology, on a piece of paper, on a notes paper. Write down specifically step by step. This is not a math class. You should not be doing a lot of hand calculations at all in this class. This is a critical thinking class. We use technology to find those answers, and you are going to find that you are very frustrated if you skip these lecture presentations at the end of the semester when I get my course evaluations. That is the one thing that is most often said. Don't skip the lecture presentations. The lecture presentations explained everything, told me how to do all the calculations in StatCrunch or on the applets. It's not a time saver. If you think you're going to save time by not spending an hour or 45 minutes watching videos for the chapter and go straight to your homework is going to take 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 hours. I've seen some people take 9 hours on a homework assignment. I said, did you use StatCrunch? And they're like, what's StatCrunch? So don't skip the lecture presentations. Then down here a little further at the bottom of each module page, you'll see a list of the assignments that have to be done for that chapter. When you click on Next at the bottom, it will bring you to that first assignment that you have to complete. It's a lecture quiz. A lecture quiz is a very short quiz using your notes outline that you just filled in. You should be able to find all of your answers in the notes outline. That's a very quick way to make sure that you've watched the lecture presentation and filled in your notes outline. When you click on Next, you'll see a link to go to your homework, and then when you click on Next, you'll see a link to go to your quiz. Both of the homework and that quiz are in My Stat Lab. Okay, we're back here on the modules page. I'm going to click on the Module 2 Learning page, the very first link under Module 2. And when I scroll down, I will see that there's 2 lecture presentations for Chapter 2 and a notes outline. Again, every module page will have that information, and then a list of the assignments that we have due for that chapter. So if I click on the lecture presentation Part 2, this is one of the slides in the lecture presentation, and it's an example problem. And you will see throughout all of the chapters which use some kind of technology, which is basically all of the chapters in the entire semester except for 3 of the chapters. Except for 3 chapters, we will be using either StatCrunch most often, or there's 2 other applets that we use on the internet in chapters 6 and 7. So every other chapter besides 1, 4, 5, 6, and 7 use StatCrunch. So you need to become very familiar with it. And I have linked in video demonstrations that I have made in YouTube. I link them directly into these presentations so that it all stays in one nice neat place. So for instance, when I click on this link to the video demonstration, it comes directly to
Here's our data from the Google spreadsheet.
To a video. So it shows the data. There's also a link to the data in the presentation. Here's a link to the data for Chapter 2, and then a link to the video demonstration. And when I get to the video demonstration, it's going to walk me through copying this data into StatCrunch, and then all of the things I have to click on when I'm in StatCrunch. And these are the things I'm talking about you should write down. I clicked on stat, I clicked on summary stats, and then what did I click on next? And then what did I get in the output? Here's the output. What information was given to me in the output? So you, as an online learner, need to become very proficient at taking very explicit, detailed notes as you watch the videos. That is your way to be the most successful in this class. So again, as you go through the presentations, whenever there's a video demonstration, you need to click on those links and watch those videos. I'm going to pause here for the second code word, and the second code word is pizza. P-I-Z-Z-A, pizza. One other tab that you'll find helpful on this left-hand side is the WebEx Conferences tab. When you click on that tab, it will look like this, and if you've made arrangements with your instructor to do a WebEx meeting, then as the time approaches, you will see the meeting time show up here, and you will see a link, a button, orange button that says join, and you can click on that to join it. So sometimes instructors will set up individual meetings with their students, or maybe they'll have an online office hour each week or a group help session for the class. So those would all be under the WebEx Conferences tab. There's also additional information about how to use the WebEx in Canvas. You will find that in your instructor contact tab there. If you click on that box on the home page and scroll down, you'll see a Using WebEx Conferences in Canvas video that you can watch. And also, if you click on the modules and go to Module 0 has just some basic information for the class, and click on in Module 0 the Resources page. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see some information about StatCrunch, and then you'll again also see a video about using WebEx in Canvas. I'm going to give you your third code word, and that third code word is median, M-E-D-I-A-N, median. And this concludes our first video. There is a second video about using MyStatLab in our class.